That's convenient. Alright, well I'm in two places now. I don't know what I just did. I just changed it from ultra low latency to low latency back to ultra low latency. It did suddenly let me actually start the stream. Cause where the window is where it shows you your stream preview, that wasn't like it told me it had an excellent connection, but it wasn't receiving the feed for whatever reason. Like it wasn't giving me a preview. So that's interesting. Don't know why I did that, but that makes the post I just posted kind of irrelevant. Let me just update that. Let me just... Yeah, I don't know why that's the case. It's just started working for some reason. I can't... Can I add a reply to a post? No, I can't. Okay, I guess I'm writing a new post. Alright. Okay, let me just write a post. It's working for some reason still. Some reason now. But either way, feel free to stay on whatever platform you prefer. The live feed will be going out to both sides until I am done for the day. Okay, let me just post that. I only posted that last one 8 minutes ago. Alright, well, either way. The goal for the day is just get most of the coloring done. And if there's no random interruptions, such as trying to figure out troubleshooting for something that I really don't look at until I need to go live. But honestly, you don't really test the stream until you need to go live regardless. It should be good. I don't know how far I should poke these out. Let me do that. What's happening down here? Probably just work on filling everything in later. That's generally more sensible. What the heck is this doing here? Okay, let's just fill that in. Is that going to be a problem? Okay. So this looks like it's currently floating, but there will be a piece below it. That's the main bit that I've actually made sure to cover in terms of what needs to be covered. So it should be okay here. I can't remember if this part sticking out of the frame or not. Alright, let's turn that off, turn you on. Okay, so the interesting thing about her hairpin is that it's actually the same color as everything else, because it's also effectively yellow. I think it's actually supposed to be white, but a transparent kind of white, which is why it sticks through, and you can see her hair color below it. Don't have the highest res image, so it's a little unclear, but that's what I'm thinking is happening. Let me just turn the hairpins off for a bit. Hum, 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 hum. Oh wait, no. You are here. And then you are here. Okay, so this just has to hide beneath the piece that's going to be in front of it, so we don't have to worry too much about the exact proportions here. Done. Alright, this put this into a folder for just the hair. Then we want to separate that from the hairpin, which I think I am going to use the lighter version of her hair here to color that in. So top and bottom. Oh no, how you doing? Blah, 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 bum. Oh, there's no food today in general. Let's turn that off, turn that on. Alright, let's look at this. They'll probably look more like bread and cheese at the current stage. I don't know, maybe I'm just been corrupted by all of the many beautiful Skyrim memes and I can't see cheese without seeing a cheese wheel. That's all good. Let's see. I already had my fair share of technical issues before starting the stream, so I don't think anything is going to be particularly mind-destroying right now. How far out do we need to pull this? Not that far. Actually, need to make sure that this still hides underneath the front. Yeah, let me just. You make sure that this doesn't stick out from. Not you. You. So I'm currently looking at a piece that's what behind here. Where's this going right now? Sticks out a little bit. Oh, the line's there, that's fine. Depends how much of a cat you have with that kind of mouth. I think I'll pull that closer together. It's so thin. You're going for another marketing spree? Oh, wait. Alright, let's go like that. Turn you off, turn that, and then we just need to fill in the remainder of the color here. And fill... Ooh, is that going to cause a problem? It is not. Okay, good. Okay, so that is effectively that part. Turn that on, turn that off, turn that on, turn you down. Okay, we just need to hide a bit of hair back here, which doesn't actually need to stick out, which is very convenient. So we just need to stick this through like that. It doesn't actually need to be a hairline, because I think I'm just going to adjust this so that the hairline is always hidden below her hair. Namely with... What piece is this? This is right in... Gonna go like that. Just not gonna do anything that requires me to fight with I did that the wrong color. Fight with the part there. Let me just turn you off and go. What do I do here? Is it this color? Only to you. Then we go like that, that, and that, and then that. Let's do the rest of the hair before doing the rest of the head here. Let's turn you off. The braid on its own doesn't really have a ton of parts to it, so we're just gonna go like so. That sounds like a Fortnite problem. Turn you off to put color layers into here. They've got bots in Unite. Oh yeah, there was like a big thing when people were talking about that, weren't they? I think it was like around the same time that Fortnite introduced their filling their lobbies with bots. Let's just do that. Then we need to roll through here. I've got the piece above this filling in the color here, so we just need to roll this around and stick this into here, go a little bit over, and then in. Actually, I should just go like full over. It doesn't matter, this part's overlapping. What do we want to do here? Let's chop a bit of that off, turn you off, turn... Oh, that's just the input here. Okay, do that, turn you off, turn you on. We want, what's her? We want the color from right there. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Turn all of these off. Plop the color right into here. Turn you off. Turn these on. Right. I guess I should also mention, since I'm doing this right now, for people who aren't familiar with Live 2D naming conventions, right and left is based on the characters right and left and not the visual right and left that we're looking at. Which is why all the right things are on the left side and why all the left things are on the right side. Chop that bit off. Okay. That is the much larger than it probably should be ribbon stuck to the braid. Is that behind the head is now the next... It is firmly behind the head. Okay, good. Okay, then we turn you off, turn you on. We are going to... Where do I have skin color? Hands. Give me skin color. Not eyes, not mouth. The ear, just the one ear. Color into here. We're just going to go ahead and roll the skin through like that. That'll be good enough. Turn head line off. Turn face off. Color that in. Oh, that should... yeah, that should work. Simple ear. So I'm gonna hide the ear below the eyes. We want to just take the brown here for... Well, I take the brown there or take the brown from somewhere else? I take the brown from there. We want to color left. Why isn't this filling the whole thing in? I'm still gonna have a flashbang after this, but filling in the bits that I can actually see on the go. Working with about like a 2000 by 2000 canvas here for a emote that only needs to be about like 64 to 200 for that. The general required ranges. Her eyes are, give me this light brown color to work with. Okay, close that, collapse that. Let me turn face off, head on. Is this my skin color? That does not look like skin color, that looks like hair color. Where's the ear? Give me this. Okay, then the fun part where I'm going to go like this, and I'm going to go like this. We're going to go face, eyes off, the very arbitrary sizes here, but we're going to just take a very vague mouth color, which should be about... Is that too bright? Maybe a bit darker. Then we stick the tongue on top of it. This will be masked down, so it doesn't matter. We want a much lighter version of this color. Maybe more towards the purple. What color is that right now? Less of that. More towards the orange. Ah, that'll do for tongue color. Yeah, I didn't really line that up properly, but it's fine. We're gonna mask it so it's not gonna be affected by anything. Then we want to look at the max mouth size while doing upper lip. We need skin color. Give me skin color. I'm gonna go upper cover. And we're going to go like that, not on this layer, go like that on this layer. On this layer, we're just going to do a very wide shot for this. It can overshoot quite a bit, it doesn't really matter. Turn you off, go like that. Honestly, this can even have gaps in it, it doesn't matter all that much, because it's just a cover and not a solid piece. Looking at this again, we want to go this shouldn't go off the face, realistically speaking. Actually, will it? Maybe. Okay. So that is effectively what the mouth needs to do, so you now see that when all pieces are existing at the same time, that the mouth is completely hidden. And that is the great illusion used to do mouths in Live 2D. Which actually makes some sense, because it just means that's a big gaping hole behind your flesh parts known as your lips. Okay, turn that off, and then we want to go down the body. Okay, I've only separated this into like 3 parts, so we'll see how that goes. Because her sleeves are actually not primarily mint green until it gets down to the bottom of the sleeve, which ironically means that we can cheat a little bit, I think, and considering that our canvas is like this, the shoulders can be just white, the lower part of the sleeves can be just green, and we can completely ignore the purple part. Because the purple part is just never going to be in frame and we don't really need to care about it. Okay, so we're going to take the... sleeves go on top of hands. Like that. We're... Wait, no, I need the white here. And I can't see white because my paper is white as well. Alright, let me just change the paper color. Alright, so we're just gonna go ahead and go white to white. The bottom of the upper arm portion is never gonna be visible, which is also why I'm really not caring about fixing the bottom there. Is it turn-based? It's not really that turn-based. The action is automated and at best you just choose when to activate the what's effectively the ultis, the special skills. Whether you count that as turn-based or not is a different matter, but I'd say it's closer to very hands-off level of real-time strategy. Because the only thing you're really strategizing on is timing. How's it doing this? Oh. Let us take a line and just deal with this a little bit. I'm gonna bring not that line. Well, life fitness is this. Go like that, go like that. Cut this off. Cut you off. Is that actually gonna matter? Honestly, using the 6 cost on a single enemy isn't really a problem. It's when they use the 6 cost on one enemy right at the front who is gonna get gunned down before the skill hits. It's actually kind of interesting how much more of a thing that is in Blue Archive, since it's effectively the same auto system as Ezra Lane, as Yostar's like previous big hit. But the problem is definitely significantly worse in Blue Archive. I don't. Ever since they made it so they could skip watching the battle in PvP, I have no idea what happens. I just presume my team can't win. I feel like that's a generally good assumption since I usually just click recommended. We want to... Is that gonna be a problem? Not really. Oh yeah, do the good old blink through. Was this like split second vulnerability or was it a blink? Unfortunately, my familiarity with Pokemon Unite ended with the phase where for some reason someone basically told me that this was pretty early on in my memory. I think it was like a few months into Pokemon Unite, where I was told that Blastoise was the engage, the disengage, the crowd control, the burst, the DPS. I was just like, huh, you're really listing off a lot of things there. Oh yeah. I have like a vague image of something similar to that from some other MOBAs, but That'll probably be more of a Dota thing. The MOBA I'm more familiar with ends up being League, which is generally more beginner friendly. Oh yeah, he did everything but heal. I mean, I'm presuming he got patched, because, like, when I heard about it, he was literally everything but healing. Like, it was like, engage, disengage, crowd control, initiation, and, DPS, burst. It was like AoE damage, single burst. It's like, huh, that sounds like a lot of things. It's like, I'm really hoping they patch it out. Because that sounds absolutely insane. What do I need to do about this part? When you can do that much, I presume so, since developers really hate releasing a character into a MOBA and then actually repurposing their whole kit afterwards. I mean, as long as he still has, like, one role that he's good at, it's not really a problem. Let's see what I want to do here. I want to basically color all of this in yellow. Then, we want to effectively make this part white. I'll just kind of cut it like this. And then we'll do the rest as the... not you, but you. Give me green. And we'll fill the rest of this up with green here. Yeah, that'll work. Oh, do I need to... Realistically, this is going to be covered by the, what should I do with this? That just sounds like your standard put your tank in the glass cannon DPS's face. And that's before your DPS is scaled into the game. Oh, wait. Let's go with that. Okay, realistically, there should be more colors down here going down the body, but there's also a very realistic part where it's not relevant. I just don't see this ever being visible. Okay, so the ear needs to be in front of this part. I mean, Tinkaton is just a popular Pokemon in general, I feel like. Ear needs to be in front of this piece. Can I do that realistically here, or should I just do that in my 2D? Be better if I can see it here. Let me just cut a little bit of the ear off here so that it's not covering as much real estate. Here off. Really got the eye stretching really far out here. I think I'm cutting way too much of it off. If I want to do that, I must just move the lash a little bit. It's just whatever. Let's just tell you to go, not you. That's always a good way to get into playing a class-based game, isn't it? Have something for every role. I'm pretty sure a friend of mine did try to convince me to play Unite at some point. I know someone tried to convince me to play a bunch of different MOBAs. I mean, I have friends that play pretty much like every single one at some point in history. Because I'm the one in the friend group who will unironically go into a game and say, I want to be the support. So all of my friends who just play DPS always want to convince me to go in and play games with them. Okay, that'll work. Then we wanted to move this up. Yeah, I used to play a bunch of League because my friends really like to play it. And I played like a bit of Dota when Dota 2 came out because I had a bunch of friends that were legacy, like Warcraft 3 Dota players. That was around the same time I started playing League, so it was like a little interesting because it was two MOBAs that were fundamentally quite different. I mean, I never played ranked. I played them like a party game. I mean, these days Zillion is basically just a support. You know, he hasn't been... I don't think I've seen him in forever. I know, I don't play the game anymore, I just follow the esports. But I played the most League, including ranked, during season 3? Like season 2 and 3. So that basically meant for anyone who's played League more recently, that was before Sightstone. That's like the easiest way to explain it. That was before Sightstones. You had to buy your wards. And I do admit that I was the reason my friend didn't know how to ward, because I would walk up the map to top lane to ward for him. Yeah, you get that, eh? It's just like you have the pocket pick that just no one plays. I mean, that's true in like every MOBA. Yeah, I think Sightstone was what, season 4? I think it was season 4 Sightstone, or was it season 5? For me, League was a party game. I played it with friends because I had a bunch of friends that played it. and that was how I enjoyed it. I'm not competitive enough, and I recognize that my hands don't work as well as the young kids. It also probably doesn't help that I had already started doing content creation back when I just had a gaming channel on a different channel at the time, and I would try for stupid plays that could be turned into 10-second clips over actually winning the game. Yeah, you just need to find like your way of having fun with the game, right? Because like really competitive people will find the game fun by playing it competitively, but if you're not like a very competitive player, then trying to force yourself to play the ranked mode, it's pretty miserable. Okay, oh wait, no, we need two first up. What color are we not using? Pink. Right as pink flashbang. Oh wait. Oh, that's always neat. I mean, that's also like a funner way to play the game, isn't it? To do a lot of early game skirmishing. At least I think that's like the funner way to play a MOBA. It's like whenever the game like meta leans towards just scale, I feel like the game becomes significantly less fun. Which is ironic because I was the one in my friend group who learned how to sit under towers and not move. Like my job was to not get any jungle help and sit under a tower. That reminds me of when one of my friends convinced me to play Heroes of the Storm. Since Heroes of the Storm doesn't really have like a farming phase, it's like only team fights. Is Heroes of the Storm still active actually? Let me have a look at that. I think Heroes of the Storm closed, isn't it? Heroes of the Storm, is it still open? Was it finished? Wait, Heroes of the Storm is still going? Wow. Oh no, wait. No, it's still going. Huh. I mean, that's how it usually goes, right? Oh my god, it's actually still alive. I thought Heroes of the Storm died a long time ago. Yeah, because, was it? It's like my friends convinced my other friend to play Heroes of the Storm with them. And then he started complaining because that friend is the super aggro, I'm gonna do it a damage type, and keep jumping over the walls. To like pick fights when he couldn't get any help, and just try to like outskill people. And then he got me to play because generally I have a more reserved playstyle when playing every other game. But I was like, wait, there's no scaling needed, so I started jumping over the wall as well. So he had two friends like jumping over walls and like leaving the team behind to fight people where they couldn't get help. I think Heroes of New Earth is the one that's dead. I mean, I know about Smite. Smite's still going. Actually, is Hon dead? Because Hon was like supposed to be the competitor to Dota, but I don't think I've heard anything about Hon in further. Heroes of New Earth. Is it still alive? Well, the top two things that come up in a Google search is now Wikipedia and Wikia, and then Reddit, so I'm presuming it's very dead. Oh, it's now community run. so it's no longer official. Yeah, it got shut down in 22, and it's now being run by the community instead. I mean, Hon did have a pretty... Actually, this is very topical. The reason why Hon failed is exactly the same reason why Concord failed. And that's more recent news. Isn't that exciting? It turns out that developers, after all these years, didn't learn any lessons. Because the main thing that caused Heroes of New Earth to fail as its main competitor at the time, which I think was League of Legends, I don't think it was Dota. They put a price tag on it when you have a competitor that is basically the same game with free to play. And then all these years later, what happens? You make a game in an oversaturated genre and put a price tag on it when all of the things you're competing with are free to play. What a surprise! I don't know if Hon ever became free to play. I didn't really skim over that carefully when I just looked at it. Okay, we need to turn everything else off again just to make sure there's no gaps in anything. There are gaps in things. Glorious. Alright, what do I want to do with this? This is like 90% out of frames. I don't know how much I care about accurately doing this. But don't you like all the beautiful arguments? Oh my god, it did this thing better than all its competitors. And the character select, they were pronouns. Oh, that was absolutely beautiful to just see people using that as an argument. It's like, does that affect the gameplay experience at all? Oh, whoops. Wait, I need a purple. Give me this. I mean, from what I heard about Concord from the few people who played it, which basically is I watched a few videos from Moist Critical about it. The gameplay was slow and it wasn't very inspiring. It didn't try to do anything new when it was coming late into a already oversaturated genre. And that was also an extra kick in the face because right after basically it was dead in the water after like a week, that was when Valve basically released their hero shooter. That was basically like a immediate case study of how to do it correctly. Like, it probably wouldn't have been as bad if that didn't happen like right at the same time. They might have like only been ridiculed for being a bad game, but then a competitor immediately came out and just was like, and this is what they did wrong. As you can see from our game, this is all the things they did wrong. Why am I even coloring the bit that's out of frame here? Yeah, Marble Rivals looks like a good bit of fun, even though I don't know if I'll play it at any point. It's like another game that I need friends to play with because I know for a fact that my hands don't work well enough to compete. I should really just use a pin here, shouldn't I? I'm like doing all of the shading of like one layer, and I know this is a bad idea, but I'm doing it anyway. That's let's just get rid of these lines. We'll just go ahead and crease that in. We'll kind of crease this in. I think the more recent talk in terms of free-to-play stuff was what the was it Ubisoft's what it was effectively Call of Duty? Was it Ubisoft or was it someone else? Was it EA? I think it was Ubisoft, wasn't it? That had their that they just shut down their free-to-play Call of Duty. I don't know which company it was. All I remember was that the biggest problem with that game was that you had to use their launcher, and their launcher was shit. I mean, I'm pretty sure both Ubisoft and EA's launchers are pretty bad because I've used both of them before, and I hate my life every time I have to use them. Like the only launcher that isn't Steam that I'll put up with is like the Epic Games one, because at least that one functions at least sensibly and not badly. Let's see. Let's go color burn. Turn it down to about the same as the other side. Well, let's just go. Sure. That's how it usually goes, doesn't it? With the old launcher just doing things. I mean, I have all of my stuff set to not turn on automatically when my computer starts. Actually, I think I let Steam turn on but everything else I have set to not turn on. Because I'm pretty sure I have the Epic Games Launcher because you need to have it to run Unreal. Back when I was actually considering Unreal as a game engine, and then every time I turn it on, it's like, holy shit, this is so overkill for what I do. Yeah, I just want other game engines to also start. Was it I want other game engines to start also having blueprints, but doesn't seem like that's going to be a thing anytime soon. It's like, what was it? When I did, like, was it 2 years ago now, I think, when I actually sat down and did a bunch of horror games for the Halloween period. I wanted to play the game by Marketplace editor, Lexion, but it was made in Unreal, and it didn't have the setting, which for some reason, when you develop a game in Unreal, is default on. That basically lets Unreal suck up every last resource your PC has. I think that year, what's Lexion's game that year? It wasn't the Iron Lung one. It was that was the cleanup one. It was like you're mopping a building, and there was just like a couple of simple jump scares. Like, the gameplay itself wasn't particularly complex, I'd say, in terms of the game loop. I mean, Lexion's made a few games now, so a little hard to remember which one's which. Because I think the most recent one he made was like in Roblox. I mean, Slenderman's one of those names that we all know how old we are. Like, god dang, that was like, well, like 2013, I think. Or was it 2012? I think it was around 2013. Maybe. Well, am I being generous? Was it earlier than that? Just going up now. You know, you want a dystopian future. There was the beautiful news today about the robot girlfriend. from whatever the company was. It was like they were showing it off at some convention. And its role was to be a companion, because we all know that the thing to help people who are feeling lonely in life and feel isolated from other human beings is to give them an artificial one so they don't have to interact with other human beings and solve the problem. We all know that's the solution, and it only costs us a cheap price of 20,000 US dollars. I mean, I heard the information secondhand as part of my daily consumption of the old YouTube. What, the Family Guy episode where the internet goes down and when the streets go into anarchy, like the guy's just like, I can't connect to Wi-Fi, and the guy just walks over like, hello there, it's like why are you looking at your phone? Just like stabs him. Why are you looking at your phone? Why are you talking to people? I only know that part of the episode. I have never actually watched Family Guy in full, at least. I've watched a few episodes of Family Guy. I've just never watched that much in full. But there's so many compilations of all of the bits now on YouTube. I don't really feel like I need to watch the show to actually understand it. Is that gonna be a problem? Is that going to be a problem when it was super zoomed out and this is the emote size? Really not. I mean, at biggest we're looking about here. At least you still have like that level of hope in humanity. I've devolved to, I'm real excited to see how you people fuck this up. Alright, we are reconnected. I think. Still don't know why it does that sometimes. Alright. We want light coming in from... left side, so it's hitting the right side of her head. Yep, okay. How do we want to do this? Actually, should I do the rest of the skin while I have the skin color selections up? Probably should. Let's go down to the ear. How do I make this ear not look as flat? And not overcomplicate the ear at the same time? Let's go like that, and let's go... That's fine, I'm just gonna go like this. Not gonna overcomplicate it here. We'll just add a color there. Then you add some lines there. Should probably add some lines there. Let's add some lines there. We'll just add a very simple shade to the head. Well, how's that been going? Is that still blazing? Or is it under control now? Or has it been put out? It's big enough news to reach this end of the world, so... I feel like I should probably at least have some interest in what's happening. That'll work. I'll do the blush into there later. Oh, color burn. Okay, how do we want to do this? We want color coming from that side, so... Go like that. It's like the only recent news I've heard about it was from the video Markiplier put out today. Because he talked about how a whole bunch of older buildings got burnt down. Let's see how I want to set that part. How's that feel? You're gonna shoot some guns. I can't do any kind of Southern accent, so excuse my incredibly poor ability to try. Let's see. Actually, since I don't think I've asked anyone on the topic recently, how weird is it to Americans that everyone else thinks that it is super weird that you guys just casually carry guns around with you in public? I think last time I talked to someone who was American, we had actually a pretty good conversation about it. Because it's just like, I've never lived in a country where firearm... Like, I haven't I don't think I've ever seen a real firearm in my life, because it's just not part of our lives. Like, from all of the different countries I've lived in. So there's always like this interesting conversation with people. It's just like, is it weird that like you guys just carry guns, or is it like, do you find us weird for thinking that having guns is absolutely insane? I mean, I know a lot of the southern states tend to be more fine with it. Or at least that's like that's my vague understanding of like the whole thing. As said, I don't have a clear understanding of it. Yeah, it's definitely interesting. Cause like I think it came up when I was talking to a colleague when I was working in Hong Kong. Cause I there like right before COVID when they were having their democracy protests, which basically meant that I was not in the office a lot because we had to keep going home because the protesters kept trashing up the streets. So that was fun. It was like until the police there finally popped someone. Like the protesters were actually like pretty much not doing anything violent the whole time. And then, well, apart from the Molotovs, but they pretty much only threw the Molotovs on the streets and didn't actually throw them at any buildings. I mean, it was definitely one of the cases where it didn't turn particularly violent until the authorities fired the first shot. I mean, for the fact that we're throwing Molotovs around, nothing burnt down. Like, you have to realize that Hong Kong is a island territory where it is basically like New York dense, but it's a whole country. I mean, the whole country isn't very big, but it is fully New York dense. And the fact that nothing burnt down the whole time they were throwing Molotovs around for like, I think over half a year is actually pretty amazing. Because a lot of the buildings, as much as they're mostly reinforced with concrete, there is like a fair amount of wood inside them as part of the structure. Let's go. Turn that down. Yeah, they always get all the different stories coming from different places, right? I mean, I got out of there before the protests died down. So, wasn't there a guy who was doing like, I mean, this is like super old, but there used to be a guy on YouTube who would, I mean, I guess he was like the original like nuisance content creator. Like this was before nuisance streamers were a thing. Like he would just go around and start charging up his power in public while cosplaying as Goku. I mean, you have like all of the weird things that happen, right? With like different things, cause like, what's it? Lilo and Stitch is like crazy popular in Korea. Like out of all of the Disney, Lilo and Stitch is Disney, right? But anyways, like out of all of the like Disney things, like Stitch is like by far the most popular thing in Korea. Like above the Disney princesses. And that was like during the, I think when I heard about that, that was during the Frozen period, or when everyone at least recognized the song. There's like all these like weird things that just, for some reason, some country just loves it. You just don't know why. Yeah, honestly, that sounds about right. This. Let's curve this up a bit more. Let's go. Let's just stick this over here. Oh, the OG Sherlock Holmes. I remember my high school teacher really loved absolutely shitting on Sherlock Holmes for some reason. At least one of my high school English teachers. Because she really liked talking about how, for the most part, he was basically just a cocaine addict. It was like the weirdest thing ever, because that was like during the period where we had to read a whole bunch of like mystery stories and like material for class. And I don't know why that's like the one thing I remember about that class, is how much my high school English teacher really liked absolutely shitting on Sherlock Holmes. It wasn't when there was a lot of talk about, was it when there was a wave of arguing about how anime was bad for their kids argument a good like 10-15 years ago, that a lot of their examples of young teens and adults committing suicide for their anime waifus was in Latin America. I feel like that was like a big bit of the news way back in the day. I mean, it was happening around the world, which is why the argument came up. But I feel like there was a good number of cases that was in Latin America. I don't know. I just remember there was a lot of like suicide to be with the anime waifu news like 15, 20 years back now. Probably wasn't 20 years back, it's probably about 15 years back. Before anime was more mainstream. I mean, that was before like gaming was mainstream, so like that was when anything that was pop culture pretty much was looked down upon. Or why everyone who's over 50 or 60, well, over 60 now, likes to call anime children's cartoons as they tackle deep and mature topics. Oh dear. I don't think you have to worry too much about that. I'm pretty sure if you ended up in Berserk, you're not going to last very long. You don't have to worry about it all that much. I'm saying that from my only knowledge of Berserk is one friend telling me I should read it. I would just do this like this. As long as it's like vaguely visible, it's fine. Or at least sit down. I mean, that's what happens when it's a bit older. What's Berserk? Actually, when did Berserk start? Let's have a look at this. Berserk. Manga series started in... Adaptation, is that the manga or is that the anime? When did manga start? Manga start... 1989. That's older than me by a bit. Just a bit, which is makes me feel a bit old. And it says is the Wikipedia says 1989. The Google AI result tells me 1988, so you know. I don't know where they got that from, because the two links that the AI overview of Google is giving me is to the Wikipedia page, which does not agree with it. Oh, there was the first prototype, like, was a one-shot, was in 1988, before it got serialized. Started serializing in 1989. What do I want to do here? How visible is that? Quite. Alright, that'll work. Is that gonna be a problem? Indeed. That should be fine. Okay. I mean, there was a definite part of me that I'm not big into the old Charizard like everyone else, just because I was too young to understand how Pokemon as a game functioned properly when Pokemon first came out. So I'm like one of the few people in my generation that enjoyed the Generation 2 starters more. You know, when you start with Gen 6, you're young. Oh, wait. I mean, that was like when it was easy to like learn and forget moves, right? Actually, when did they make the move Remember more accessible? It wasn't for a while, wasn't it? I think the move Remember wasn't like a big thing until it got around to what, Sword and Shield, I think? It was just that they changed TMs to be reusable from like Gen 4 onwards, I think. Yeah, it sounds about right, because I remember when because I pretty much had a giant gap in Pokemon, because I didn't have a 3DS. Well, I didn't have a DS either, but I played some emulators. Because when I picked up Shield and played it, it was like I could just go to the Pokemon Center and relearn moves. I think the move Remember was introduced in Gen 3, but it wasn't what you would call like accessible. Because I think at least in Gen 3 and 4, which I played a fair amount of, the trade was I know Gen 3 you had to trade heart scales, which basically I vaguely remember one time when I had a save file that was I was using for Battle Frontier. I was in front of the waterfall to the Pokemon League fishing for Love Disc because I needed more heart scales. And it was like the most miserable thing in the world. And then I think after that I just gave up on relearning moves in general in Pokemon and just went with like whatever I could customize from their base moveset and TMs. And then I picked up Shield when I got a Switch, and I was like, oh my god, I could just relearn moves. I mean, it was just a cost, right? Because everything had a cost back in the day. Like an actual like meaningful cost that made it like not as accessible. So that your choices were more like your choices mattered more, right? Because if you made a choice and you didn't want your move in the newer games, you could literally just go and cover it straight away. But back in the day, you really couldn't. There's like almost an argument that if your moveset was so messed up on something, you'd rather get a new version of the Pokemon instead. Well, there'll never be a grind like Gen 1 EXP Ore, so it's a great thing that was no longer a thing as soon as Gen 2. Because Gen 1 EXP Ore was the worst thing ever. It's like when I first learned that they brought the EXP Ore back for Sword and Shield, I was a little scared, but I was like, oh, it's just EXP Ore, but it's for everyone. EXP share, but for everyone without reducing the EXP. It's like, wow, this is OP as hell. I'm old, so EXP was like a precious resource in Pokemon, and now it's not. I'm actually curious what kind of insane testing they did during Gen 1 that resulted in green lighting a item that splits EXP 6 ways. Like, who thought that was a good idea? At least I have to assume that they had at least some game testing that told them that splitting EXP 6 ways was a grand idea that all the players would love. Since they marketed it in the game basically as, this way you don't have to train each Pokemon individually, you can train them all at the same time. As you go from town to town in your grand Pokemon adventure, leveling up maybe once per gym. It goes so bad. It's like the moment you got the EXP Ore, you become severely underleveled or so good. Actually, if you were trying to like maintain levels on 6 Pokemon back in Gen 1, you'd always be underleveled because there's no way you could spread the EXP enough. Like, there was no rematches until you could rematch the Elite Four, and the EXP Ore did not do anything good. I mean, Gen 1 glitches is hilarious. Even though I'll admit that I was never privy to them as a kid. I think it was actually kind of surprising. I don't think I ever accidentally hit a glitch when playing as a kid. They also had the smart idea of telling you that it's like, you want to beat psychic Pokemon? Well, you should go get a ghost type from the tower in the town over there. Ghost types are super effective. And so in Pokemon Yellow, I think it is, the gym leader has level 50 of the whole Abracadabra Alakazam line, and I killed her Abra because I used a level 8 Zubat with Lick. So good. It's like, I literally killed that thing with just Lick because it is the only ghost move in the game that does damage that isn't Nightshade. I mean, that was if you're lucky enough to have a Gengar, because back in the day, you couldn't just trade with people online. You had to actually find someone who also had the game and a link cable. And I loved it when they used to show up all of those ads of like just running into someone randomly in the streets, and you just start trading Pokemon, having a Pokemon battle right there because you both happen to have your Game Boy and one of you just happens to have a link cable. It's like, wow, these ads aren't very realistic. When am I gonna just run to a random dude on the street who just happens to have a link cable and a Game Boy and Pokemon inside at the same time? Well, you could play the whole of Gen 1 without hitting any bugs. Like, if you are playing mostly normally, like, for their credit, like, you probably could get through the whole game without a bug. But, like, once you start doing, or you start trying anything to break the game, it will probably break. And I still have those Pokemon cards. Actually, I don't know if I still have the Pokemon cards from the second movie. So they gave out Pokemon cards for the, was it Gen 1 Legendary Bird Trio? I'm pretty sure they're very wrinkled by now because I never took care of trading cards when I was like 8, I think. I don't think I was 10 yet when the movie came out. Was I... It came out 2000... Yeah, I wasn't even 10 yet. How old was I? I was 7. And that's if the game or the movie made it just far down to this part of the world. Nothing will ever beat my friend's 3 holographic Charizards that his mom threw away. We will never let him live that down. Every time he says something that pisses one of us off, we have to remind him that his mom threw out 3 holographic Charizards. I don't think he ever actually mentioned to us how he got them, because I'm pretty sure they're like first edition holographics of the Charizard. The only thing he ever told us is that his mom threw them out. Because, you know, as your kids grow up and they leave home and you need to clean out their room, it's like, oh look, there's these weird pieces of cardboard with cartoon characters on them. He doesn't need them anymore. The card's a little sparkly, but that doesn't mean anything. Out it goes. And so, the holographic Charizards were no more. Actually, how much is the holographic Charizard worth right now? Let's have a look. Let's see. Holographic Charizard first edition price. Let's see, complete with a good old inflation. Wait a minute. What? Holy shit. Oh my god. There's every good reason to be incredibly pissed that his mom freed him out. Oh jeez. Oh my god, so expensive. He had 3 of these. Just saying, he had 3 of them. Oh, that's like enough money to live off like a half a year just on like 3 pieces of cardboard. Oh my god. Is anyone... Wait, there was actually free sales. There were free sales of a $252,000 card. Who the hell is buying these? What the heck are people doing with their money? I'm presuming it's sitting there. I don't know how to use this. What's this price charting? I mean, these are all just looking at eBay. What else is there? Well, there's eBay. Is there like a card market or something similar? What about TCG market? Or TCG player, that's what's it? And card market? You just like merge the two together. Let's see. First edition holograph. What was the first edition? No? How about Charizard? I don't know which one's the first edition. I mean, a $4,000 fursuit. 200. It wasn't a $25,000 card. It was a $250,000 card. There was an extra zero there. Okay, this is more reasonable. So on TCG Player, the Holo Rare here, I think it's the same card. I'm actually not too sure. Is only 120 for market price of 270. Probably a little bit damaged. There's a 180 Holo Rare Legendary Collection. Market price of 320. Is that damaged? Let's have a look at this. Do they have the heavily played, moderate, lightly, near mint? Okay, so near mint is nearly 3,000. And then if it's been played, this is literally like what happens to your car, right? The moment you drive it out to the dealer, you have bought your car for $2,800. You drive it out and you have lightly used it and it's now worth 300. Oh my god. Let's have a look. Was it Venusaur? Is that how you spell Venusaur? What are we looking at? Holo? Basic Holo. Legendary Collection Holo is a marker of 80. The basic Holo has a market of 120. Like the low prices are always... Oh, the wait, the Shadowless. I mean, presuming... Is this a printing error or is it Shadowless like a thing that just happens? No, that's the only one that says Shadowless. Is that a printing error? There might be a printing error. Let's see, so near mint 150. I mean, compared to the Charizard where, you know, you drive your car out of the shop and it immediately goes from like $2,500 to $300. This is only going from 153 to 151. So it's, you know, it's not nowhere near as bad. What's the highest price here? 300 for near mint. I thought you also had like seen it in to be like graded as well, though. What are these shadowless? What's the meaning with a shadowless? Because it's still a hollow, or is it not a hollow? Huh. What was the other one? Blastoise? Yeah, let's have a look at Blastoise as well. How do you spell Blastoise? Blastoise. Probably something like that. Blastoise, base hit hollow, market price of 160. Classic, that's a classic collection. Classic collection, is there like a... Base hit is the original. It's marketing for 160. Listing at the lowest from 80. I mean, Blastoise did used to look pretty derpy back in the day. It's just that Blastoise didn't really ever get the Pikachu treatment of just losing a ton of weight. Let's see, near mint 250. So it's like a little bit less than the Venusaur right now. Man, Charizard's worth so much more. You know, I look at those prices, it's still like, or like skimming the other prices for Pokemon cards looks so much more reasonable. Given that the prices I look at is Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and Yu-Gi-Oh cards are just way too expensive. So goddamn, those things are crazy expensive. You know, Pikachu did make it into one of those original meme templates. That'll work. Then I want to go... And I stopped collecting them pretty much as Master Duel came out. Well, actually, no, I moved overseas for a while and I didn't have space. Because there's no way you're collecting anything in Hong Kong. There's not enough space there. Or if you do collect things, it's literally your whole room. There's nowhere to sleep. And then Master Duel came out, and I just like, screw it, I can play the game digitally. And so I just play the game digitally now, and that's it. I want to create selection. Well, you see, the problem in Hong Kong was that there was no living room. That was probably your bedroom. Like, at best, for like, if you're living by yourself and you're renting just for yourself, you're lucky to have your kitchen separate from your bedroom. Like, the only rooms that are actually separated for hygiene purposes is your toilet and your bathroom. And usually your toilet and your bathroom is one room. Like my aunties really liked watching this show that showed off like the ridiculous apartments sometimes that you get where people have done like these crazy things to their furniture to make everything fit and actually have living space. And sometimes it's literally just like the stove is right across from the person's bed. Like, holy shit, man. I mean, I'm fortunate that I did not have to live in those conditions when I was over there because I got to crash with relatives. They had like a bigger place. I actually don't know. It might be somewhere in China or India that has a high density. But there definitely wasn't enough space. What are we doing here? Huh? Where's it doing that? Oh, that's not. Oh, that's fine. I still don't know. It could be. I know they have like one of the worst housing prices in the world. Even though there should have been a pretty big opening of housing a few years ago when the democracy protests chased a whole bunch of people away from the country. Because from what I heard, most of the people who left during the democracy protests haven't returned. Even though, from what I heard, the Chinese government in mainland China just basically filled the all of the residencies with people from the mainland instead. I'm just gonna like go there. But it's like at least when I was over there, you had to fill something. Oh, I'm totally going over time here. Well, I'm just gonna finish this rant and then we'll finish up. You had to apply with the government because there was just so little housing that you basically couldn't like go out. Like you couldn't go out to like a real estate agent and be like, "Hey man, I want to like buy a house," or even like, "I want to buy this like apartment, this room in this apartment." You had to apply with the government and go on this wait list, and basically, if anything freed up, you would just get whatever was opened up. That I think the only things that allowed you to really choose how big it was if it could reasonably fit, like let's say you had a family, like you had your partner and then you had kids, they had to at least make sure it could fit your whole family that you were planning to have live at that residence. Otherwise they'll just give you this like hole in the wall basically and just be like, yeah, this is the house that's opened up for you and it's your turn on the wait list, so have fun. um I don't know, I feel like at some point I'm just gonna like end up moving to Australia because I can do exactly the same job and earn 20k more and basically live in the same country except for the occasional spider season. Alright, but anyways, that will do it for today. It's partially colored. I was working a little slower than I could have, since obviously sidetracked a few times, which is fine, since I need this to last the whole week, because I haven't planned anything beyond the week. Either way, the coloring will continue, and once the coloring is done, we'll throw this into Live 2D and then start animating it as with this motion plan that you can't see because I wrote it in purple and the background is currently pink. With the motion plan there. That's all good. At least I actually need to take my hands off and like start googling things, which I guess I did this time. It's not really a problem. I might just talk as I work. But either way, if you want to see more of this, shouldn't be subscribed or following. Especially since today I couldn't start the YouTube stream for about 10 minutes for whatever reason. You may want to be following on the Twitch side as well, just in case. But anyway, leave a like because it helps me out, and I shall see you all again next time.